another obviously disappointing result from you. Can you try and pinpoint what's going wrong at the moment?
We have an issue at the moment with changing momentum. We're having periods in games where we just can't stop the opposition for far too long. We're not able to change the game without having a timeout, and it takes us till the end of the quarter to do so. And it's unfortunately it's becoming a trend for us, and it's why we're where we're at.
I think you promised that the group would have a response to about momentum, but the way you started the game, did you see a response there?
I was confident we would respond, and for the majority of the game tonight, it was quite a battle, and we let ourselves down in a period of time throughout that third quarter that, in the end, determined the result.
What's the mental space of the group right now? It feels like it's a team very low on confidence.
Yeah, we are. We're low on confidence. We got no excuses. We just need to be better, and at the moment we're not. We're not good enough at the moment.
As a coach, and as a coaching group, do you feel a bit shell-shocked at the moment? Are you a bit like, where are the answers? Where are the solutions coming from?
I mean, the answers are sitting there in how do we right the ship in moments of, I guess it's rough seas if we're going to use the term. It's when we're under pressure, how can we change the game? Because we're playing patches of football where we're in the game and then we just let ourselves down. There's too many games at the moment where we're getting beaten, and they're close in the end, but we're not getting the result. And that doesn't matter if we're playing the top of the table or the bottom of the table. We're seeing the same trend, and so we have to be better than that.
In fairness, Matthew, should you be in a position where you need to change the game against a team that's won one game all year? Should you not be setting the tone at home?
And that's where I come back. We've got to be better. We're not at the moment. We don't have excuses. We're not good enough at this point. You mentioned it. It can be a really quick turnaround from having great belief. We go back 3 weeks and we're playing a game that most are looking at and saying, hey, this team's got some confidence, so it can come and go so quickly. And at the moment, we don't have any right at this point. We felt confident at the start of the game. We played some footy, throughout this game where it looked like we had it. And then right now, though, post-siren, we sit here in a pretty dark spot, as do a lot of our supporters and our members who came out, and they have the right to feel that way, really disappointed in what we're putting out there.
Steve, you were angry last week, or angry with part of that emotion. What triggers do you pull tonight when you're talking with players when it is so raw and it is so dark, because there's still a significant portion of the season and significant scrutiny still to come depending on those results?
Yeah, well, we're hoping there's not more scrutiny coming. We want to get back on track. Our chat's limited tonight. It's a little bit of a shorter chat with the emotion probably that's there off of the performance, but there'll be no shortage of conversation that starts first thing when we get an opportunity to come back together and get ourselves ready for next week.
Who does it start with? Does it start with your veterans? And there was, you obviously dropped Riley O'Brien, there was talk around whether Brodie Smith would keep his place. So Tex Walker didn't play tonight, but is it those players you need to lean on and possibly send a message to, or is it more of a
we're all in this. It's not an individual, and it's not a demographic, and it's everyone's in. We as a club have to be better. We're all in, and so we'll sit down, a lot of us, and talk through it. You mentioned the guys who were out. Kieran Strachan came in tonight, and unfortunately for him, had some groin soreness. Up until that point, I thought he had a great impact on the game of footy, and unfortunate for a guy who's been given his opportunity for the body to let him down. And at that point, we had to end up subbing him out. But Billy Dowling, I thought, had his moments in the game as well. So, I'm pleased to see those guys came in. Borlase played a different role tonight, and again had impact. So there are guys that are that we can look at and say, well, there are some positive signs from that point of view, but that's unfortunately about it from tonight.
Do you have to concede now that your season's over from a finals point of view?
From a finals point of view, it's going to be very, very tough for us mathematically to get in there. You're asking me right now if I went to the players that you talk about the confidence levels. It's going to be a tough one for us to turn around. I think we play the top side next week. We'll knuckle down now and get to work, try and find a way to get back in the form we know we do have in us.
Just the nature of the industry, Matthew, obviously, for better or worse, the heat comes on the coach. How do you handle that? How do you assess your methods at this point of time and move forward?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned before, we're all in. So my way of working through this is to dig in even harder and continue to work as hard as I do. I've mentioned it before that I'm actually in the job because I enjoy pressure. Right now it's at its highest. It doesn't mean I'm enjoying it as much as I was a number of weeks ago, but I'll put my head down and go to work like we all will. But yeah, that's what, as a club, that's what we need to do, find a way back.
I'm worried that the expectations were set by the board and was set at the start of the season finals. It's time to reset expectation. That could be used. It's going to be used against you now in terms of your future, even though you've had that re-sign recently.
As I said, we're all in, and so I'll have conversations as we do every week with the leaders of this football club, and I'll continue to update them on what we're working on and how we're trying to be better.
How's Josh Shelley travelling from a football perspective and just in terms of his form at the moment?
Again, I don't want to talk about too many individuals, but I actually thought Josh had a reasonably strong night tonight. I'm obviously going to have to review it a bit more, but I was pleased with how he went about it. But I don't think tonight's a night to go into individual performances. I'm happy to talk about Billy Dowling and a kid who's debuting and the excitement of that for him and his family and for our team. But yeah, I'd rather not go into.
Do you feel like the players are still responding to what you're asking of them?
Yeah, well, we're still tight and working through what we want to do. It's pretty clear on a Monday when we look back on the game what it is we need to be better at. It's probably the most frustrating part about it all is we actually have an understanding of it. It's just the ability to now get back to where we know we can be. But yeah, the connection's strong as it has been right throughout the year.
So did you overperform last year or have you underperformed this?
At this point in time, I think we're out of form. We're out of form. I would say I'm mindful of looking at our results over the last 2 months because I've felt like we have played some really strong football through that period. But if you look at the results, we've had a draw and we've had a number of losses by less than a kick. And if you are looking at win-loss, we haven't performed where we need to. And we acknowledge that and we have to be better. But I don't want to compare it to last year.
What do you say to the fans right now who are going home and clearly venting their frustrations on radio and social media and things like that?
I completely understand how they feel, and we sit in the same boat. We are frustrated. We're disappointed in what we're putting out there, and I ask them just to stick by us. It's a tough time at the moment, but stick by us.
I know you don't want to talk about individuals, but Max Michelani was a standout tonight.
So you're going to ask me what?
Well, a good one. A good standout.
I like both. Max is a outstanding young man, strong footballer, and he does everything he possibly can for his teammates.
Last couple. Do you have enough Maxes? Are you still confident that this list is?
Would I take 22 Max Michelanis? I'm confident we have the list. Like everyone in the competition at the moment, it's been a tough year, and we're working on getting our game back where it should be. But I'm confident we have the list.
How much do you draw on your first the COVID season when things were really tough and things were difficult? How much do you as a coach draw on that right now and know you can find yourself out of the dark times?
Yeah. Look, my experience tells me, and I mentioned it before, my experience tells me that when it gets tough, just put your head down and go to work. and I'll be working with all of our staff and players to do exactly that.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.